Hello everybody, my name's Liam and today I'm going to be showing you how you set up the Radiolink and insert audios. So to begin with, you need to make sure you have downloaded the file. As you can see, I've done so here. And to begin with, you just drag your Radiolink version 1 file into Studio. And now you'll find you have jaDevelopment Radiolink. Before we edit anything, you need to go to your game settings, go to security. Make sure your game is uploaded to Roblox. As you can see, I've done this here and here because it's got a name. And then allow HTTP requests and enable Studio access to API services. Press save. The second thing that I would recommend doing here is going to your view. And then under Asset Manager, toggling this on. This will be really helpful when it comes to uploading audios later. So to begin with, we need to find our server storage ungroup and drag this down to server storage and then ungroup it. And then we can delete this needs one here. Next, I'm just going to find where these have appeared in my game. So here, you'll see we have a large dock of radios, a single radio dock, and we have some decorational. So these won't do anything. As you can see, they have a screen on and they all have a green light, but these have no scripting whatsoever on them. They are just so the first thing we need to do is edit our master config. So under here, you have your credits, and then some more information about where your radio is stored. Don't edit this unless you know what you're doing. So here you'll find your group name. So I'm just going to call it jaDev Radiolink tutorial. Further down, you have your channels. So I'm not going to show you how you add 50 different channels for all your senior leaders, or whatever you have in your school or where this is running. I'm just going to show you how you add one. So currently you have your general, which is on channel ID 1, and your off-topic, which is on channel ID 2. You can add as many channels as you like. The names in this config are not shown on the radio, which is configured in your settings. You need to set names to them in each dock. Channels cannot have the same names, and channels cannot have the same ID. So if you wish to change the name of the channel, you just edit this first bit here. So I'm going to change off topic to, let's change it to SLT. And then we can add another one by selecting these 3 lines, copy, and then pasting them in there. Then again, we can change the name. So I'm going to change the name here to SEN staff. And I'm going to set this as channel ID 3. So that's how you add channels and adjust channel names and IDs. Further down, you have your message delay. So currently set to 0.3. Again, you can adjust this as to how long you want. You can have it as a 10-minute delay. You can have it so no delay. Further down, you have global channels. This means that every radio will have access to these 3 channels. Then you have your message filtering. This uses Roblox filtering with messages. To make it clear, you can disable this feature. We do not recommend it, and we have no responsibility if your game gets taken down because of it. Further down, we have battery information. So the battery, if it's enabled, it will mean that the battery will change charge. If your radio runs out of charge, you will not be able to send or receive new messages. You have your starting charge, so you can have them start at 5% charge. You can have them start at 100%. Drain is how many minutes until the radio drains 1%, so currently set at 3 minutes. And recharge is how many minutes till 1% is charged. So currently with this configuration, it would take 300 minutes to drain charge and 100 minutes to fully recharge. Again, you can edit that to your liking. Alerts. So alerts allow staff members to submit. So for example, here they're enabled and they're called emergency alert. You can change this to anything. You can change this to on-call alert, senior leader alert. Again, enabled true or false, you can change it to false to disable it. Roles, this will change the user's role based on the group. So you can set this to your group ID, and then when the user is using the radio, they will see their name pop up below. Further down, you have Arbor integrations. If you have Arbor, you can set this to true. This means rather than showing the user's usernames, their name that they have set on Arbor will show up. Then further down here, you have your sounds. So to upload your sounds, you need to start by opening your asset manager and pressing this little upload button, and then finding. So ignore. So if I find it here, Radiolink, audios, you can see here I've got all my audios. All you then need to do is drag across and press open, and then confirm. So just give them a minute to all upload. Now, when you'll see you've got your recently added here. You can right-click over one of these and press copy ID to clipboard. Find it on here and copy it in. And we'll do the same with all of them. There are other ways to upload, such as doing it through the web browser and then drag and then getting your ID off there. If you know how to do that, feel free to. However, I do recommend if you're doing it just for one instance, then you've got a verified account, so you have quite a few uploads a month, you do it this way. As we scroll down, you have your UI and other settings. Here you have your notification sounds. It's, if it pings up, if a notification sound is made. You have your pin UI. This will allow the UI to be pinned. Statuses, again, changes the status so you can have busy, available, and unavailable. Then here you've got your colours. So this changes your primary colour, your secondary colour. What we recommend is the bottom one. The secondary colour is the darker of the primary. Then you have your message colour, which again sets the background colour of the radio message. Currently, this is all set. If you wish to edit this, feel free. So that is your master config for Radiolink setup. So I'm going to start by configuring this big dock here. So to begin with, I'm going to make a copy of it. You can drag it over here. I'm going to select it and open it up in my navigation and put up my dock config. So under here, you start with your whitelist. So your whitelist allows you to only allow certain users. This is good to make sure that students can't pick up your radio dock or non-authorized players. This also is good to allow groups, so certain staff or certain leadership to enable this. You can say it as true. This supports usernames and user IDs, so you can take your own username or user ID under the users. Currently, our developers are set. Feel free to get rid of these if you don't want our developers to have access. And again, feel free to change our JDev group to whichever your group you have. And it is as simple as entering your group ID. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to give also rank 100, 99, 98 access here. And just format in, I'm going to do that. I'm going to delete the little jaDevelopment thing. Further down, you have your clicker type. So you have your click detector. That is where the user will click the radio. It will go in their inventory. A proximity prompt is where when the user gets close, it will say press E or press F or press J, whichever button is set for Radiolink to pick up. The max distance is how many studs away. So if it's on a shelf, you may want to extend that. If it's on a desk, you may want to leave it as is or adjust it. That's based on personal preference. Then the further down you have your channels. So this all goes back to your master configs here. So we've changed some channel names. We can go back here. So as you can see, you have general here. So this radio dot can send messages and receive messages. We also have our SLT channel. So just to show you here, you don't have to have the same name in your master config, which the name here is set as SLT, and in my .config it's set as senior leadership. That will still work. It doesn't have to be the same. The channel ID, however, does. And we can remove the send permission as so. And now only this radio dot can only receive messages from the senior leadership. To add another channel, we can copy this. I'm going to copy the first one. And now we can change this to SEM. And we can change the channel ID 3. And then that is that setup, how you edit channel. Further down, you have your alerts. So your alerts enable true or false, whether you want to be able to send or receive alerts. Here you have your channel. So here you can change it to channel 2, channel 3, channel 100, or if you want to broadcast to all channels, you can do equals false, which then means that this will broadcast to all channels on the radio. So yeah, that is how you set up your Radiolink. If any other questions, please don't forget to get in our Discord server, which I'm sure will be linked down in the description, along with the Radiolink setup guide. Any other questions, again, ask on Discord. Open to Kit, the technical support categories where you'll find best people who'll be able to support you with this.